Nice to meet you, Stefan.
Stefan, exactly.
Nice to meet you, Sophie.
Yes.
I'm Josh.
Thank you.
Nice setup. This is chilled. I like this.
Yeah. Are you okay? You can get
I'm
comfortable.
good. I'm good.
Perfect. Well, hello, Josh.
Hi.
Welcome in the Wild Van. We are glad to catch you here in Ibiza just before your gig at DC10 tomorrow for Paradise. And even more glad because you were last week in Los Angeles, 2 weeks ago in Miami, and the day before in New York. A lot of traveling.
I was away for like 3 weeks, nearly 4 weeks.
Oh.
So the first week was Ecuador.
Okay.
Which is probably my favourite country in the world.
Really?
Yeah, I love that place.
Why?
Just like the people and just the whole atmosphere and pace of life over there is very chilled, especially in Montanita where the Lost Beach is.
Okay.
It's like a hippie surfer town.
Terrific.
Which is it's perfect for me. You know, there's such a hectic lifestyle with all travelling all the time. Like taking some time out on the beach is very necessary.
Yeah. Being all the time in clubs and planes, I guess. Yeah, you need to.
So, some fresh air as well. Fresh air, good food, nice people. So I spent a week in Ecuador, and then flew to North America, and did like New York, Detroit, and all the places you just mentioned.
Yeah. Before we start, can you introduce yourself briefly?
Yep. Just now? To you or to the camera?
You can do as you want.
Okay, I'm Josh Butler, DJ producer from the northwest of England.
Okay, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So the focus of our interviews is the relationship between electronic music and nature. And
Amazing. I mean, we've already touched on this.
I've seen that in a previous tour in Central America, you had the chance to go up on an active volcano.
Yeah, that was the other week in Ecuador.
It was, it was okay this time. Do you always try to enjoy the natural environment where you land?
Yeah, if there's time. If I have some extra time in the city or in the town, I'll definitely try and explore and see what's around and do some of the natural activities. Because I spent a lot of my teenage years in New Zealand and went to school in a small town in the north of New Zealand called Kerikeri, which is a very naturally beautiful place. Lots of amazing beaches and outdoor activities like sailing and motorbiking and stuff. So I've always been very outdoors and involved in nature.
So you would be more of a doer, not so much a contemplative, more enjoying nature by doing activities in it?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Camping or in the forest, just building tree houses as a kid.
Awesome. Yeah, great. What about nature as an inspiration? Would you say that nature is something that inspires you as a DJ or as a producer?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, more so now. I mean, when I was younger, I was probably spending more time in nature as a kid, but I never really made the connection between music. Music was just something I was doing anyway, and I used to make probably less organic sounding music as a kid. But now, as I'm sort of maturing and my taste is, I'm refining my sound. I am trying to incorporate a lot more organic sounds in there, and even some of my new tracks have got bird sounds in there and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
There's a lot of atmosphere in the background. Sometimes sounds of jungles or stuff, just very subtle in the background of tracks to kind of set the scene.
So, would it be more the quietness side of the nature that inspires you, or more the battering of elements?
No, not the battering of elements.
No, more the quietness.
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
I also saw on your social medias that once in Canada, while passing by disused building, you were thinking about throwing a rave.
Yeah, right.
It seems like everything that surrounds you gives you ideas.
That's
inspire
exactly
you, really.
it. So I think that was in Montreal. I had a few extra days before the gig in Montreal, so I was a little bit jet lagged. So went to the dispensary, bought some weed, and then because it's legal in Canada now, so found this nice spot by the river. Sat there all afternoon, just chilling, smoking, and then this huge building, like a disused factory, was in the background.
Yeah.
And naturally, was just like thinking, imagine doing a rave in there. You know, that's like a serious location.
Yeah. Must be something, yeah. Since we're in Ibiza, we're gonna talk a bit about the island. And first, I'm gonna ask you about the atmosphere, the vibes that they are here. Would you say that you ever find something that's close to vibes of Ibiza somewhere else in the world, or that Ibiza is really unique?
Oh, it's a difficult question because I've got to think carefully about how to answer this. Because I think, without sounding too negative, I think that the vibe used to be a lot more unique.
Here?
Yeah, I think it used to be a lot more unique. But now, obviously with the popularity of Ibiza over the last 20 years, people, you know, tried to recreate that. I mean, that's how the rave scene was created in the UK. People like Danny Ramplin and Carl Cox used to go back to England and recreate the vibe in the UK. But I mean, now that I think you can find it in a few places now, Croatia being one of them.
Okay.
I've had some amazing times in Croatia over the last few years.
Oh,
very,
we don't know that.
Yeah, very special atmospheres at parties there, very friendly and welcoming.
Okay. Oh, we should try it then.
Yeah, I really recommend it. But don't get me wrong, Ibiza is still a very, very special place. Yeah. And actually at the forefront of the music, I think the music itself, this is where people test the new records and the new DJs come through. You know, it's still at the very front of the electronic music scene.
Yeah. Ibiza is also kind of the perfect reunion of electronic music and nature. Do you have time when you come here to enjoy that second part of the
Sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I try to make the effort, you know, even if it's just go to Esvedra for the afternoon and just sit and chill out, and, or a nice quiet beach, you know.
Is there, you mentioned Esvedra, but is there one spot you like in particular, maybe to chill out?
To be honest, I probably haven't explored that much.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, the typical spot where you're quite high on the cliff, looking out on Esvedra with the rock in the sea. It's a pretty cool place.
You must have been to a lot of places in the world. Our own concept, Into the Wild, is to produce videos of techno sets in nature without an audience. So if you had to do such a set, just you alone in nature, where would you choose to do that?
Ooh.
Considering that anything is possible.
I mean, the first thing I could probably think of a lot of places, but the first place that springs to mind is the Amazon.
Oh, the Amazon.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've never actually been. So the next time that I go back to Ecuador, I'm actually planning a trip to the Amazon as well. So you never know, maybe I can do a DJ set then.
That would be so nice. That's kind of the definition of the wild, I think.
Yeah.
Amazon. We were yesterday at the DJ Awards ceremony. Yeah, if I remember correctly, you were nominated in the house music category last year.
That's right.
The theme of this year was no more plastic.
Very, very good cause.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I think it's amazing. You know, actually recently my agency sent me an email. They sent an email to all the DJs on the roster saying, would we want to sign up for an eco-friendly DJ rider?
Oh.
You know, because on the riders you've got plastic bottles of water, and you know, plastic cups, also straws. So now it's all eco-friendly, like cardboard bottles of water and no plastic straws.
Great.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very valuable contribution.
Yeah, that's a great thing. Yeah, really. You've got a lot of actualities right now incoming with your track Right Time.
Yeah.
Out on
Solid Grooves.
Solid Grooves, an EP that you will release in 2 parts on your own label.
Yeah.
And also a remix of 1 AM by Audio Jack.
That's right.
That will be coming at the end of October.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to say something about
Yeah,
it?
well, I guess we'll start with the remix, the Audio Jack remix.
Okay.
I've known those guys for years now, so we always speak and we transfer music to each other all the time.
Oh.
And I think this is the celebration of like the 100th release.
Okay.
On their label Groove. So they asked me to remix one of the tracks, which obviously said yes to because they're good friends. So that's, yeah, like you said, out at the end of November. And then the few times that I've had in the studio this summer when I'm at home, I've been working on 8 different tracks to put together for like a mini album, kind of like extended EP, which is going to be out on my own label Origins.
Cool.
Probably, I think that's November, December.
Okay.
There's still one more track that I need to finish, so it's. I mean, I'm never completely happy or satisfied. It's,
perfectionist.
Yeah. It's taken a while to come together, but I think it's going to be a really strong EP, and it's kind of like showcasing the different styles that I do.
Okay.
So from the more like deeper, soulful house stuff, the US influenced stuff, to maybe some of the more techie. European sounding stuff.
Well, we can't wait to listen about that.
Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow for Paradise.
Are you guys gonna come?
At TC10. Yeah. We'll
Amazing.
Come. Yeah, sure. And well, we wish you all the best
Thank you.
for the future. And thank you very much for being here today.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you very much.
I really enjoy the idea that you guys are doing with the nature and the music, because for me they go hand in hand. It's,
yeah. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.